What's up, everybody? What's up, G Money? What's going on? I just want to give y'all a bit of a update on what's going on, because there's been numerous fights, right? And let's start off. I'm gonna start off right now with the pick, right? We have the Bronx redesign that's supposed to be coming out, and being that the Bronx redesign is coming out, there is some expectations from the union to have a system pick. And Transit Authority, all in a nutshell, came up and said that, well, we're going to have a depot pick, which really don't make any sense because there's almost 48 different changes that that impact everybody who operates a bus, whether it's in Manhattan or whether it's in the Bronx. There's a big impact. So we have argued that there should be a system pick so everybody has a chance to follow and chase money if they want, so the seniorities don't get lopsided and impacted. So Transit Authority took their position, we took our position, and we filed a grievance on the pick. Now, just for those who don't really understand, I'll let you know, like, the Brooklyn division, for instance, when back in 2002, when we consolidated with the Brooklyn division through the contract, MAPSTOA's pick practices were to be maintained. And part of those pick practices is how we have picked in the past prior to bus consolidation. So if something like this was to happen during in the past, during or before consolidation, automatically what would happen is a system pick, right? You can't, if there was some type of line change or something that got really upset it financially on a run or a route, we had a general pick. And sometimes we had to go into grievances in order to get that done. But we have had wins in the past in order to get that done and have achieved what we have, or what is known today as our system pick, right? So on the Brooklyn side of the house, section 5.1, when the equivalent happens with a run or a route, what happens is the contract speaks to a pick between the depots that's impacted. And I'll give you for instance, let's say Fresh Pond Depot, and it's happened in recent years. So Fresh Pond Depot did a line movement of the B38 in the middle of a pick. The contract says, okay, the impacted depots get the pick. So that was Fresh Pond Depot and Grand Avenue was the impacted depots. So they was a pick. So there wasn't no system pick. So on the pick practices, which represents 6.2 of the collective bargaining agreement, it says that MAPSTOA will have at least one pick, right? So you got to define the word at least. At least means at minimum one pick, but it could be more, right? Now, we've signed agreements with the Transit Authority on certain things, like the M60 when did a reline, and the M55 when we did a reline on the M55, and we signed stipulations allowing the Transit Authority to do it, but not to create the practice of doing it. So we protected ourselves in essence. So now here we are today, where we have to go into arbitration. We wrote the grievance. We had a step 2 on the grievance. Transit Authority CTO's office made their arguments. We've made our arguments, and we're going to go into arbitration. And it's going to be sometime in April. I don't have an exact date for you to give you, but we'll keep you guys updated. The reason why we probably haven't been around shopgating like we normally would shopgate every month is because there's been a lot going on and the information has been changing very rapidly. So I wanted to take this time today to at least give you a little bit of information on what's going on. Now, moving on. Now we have this this big thing with the free Pena. I'm pretty sure that everybody knows or seen something that's been going on with this issue that we got going on. So just to bring everybody up to speed, just so you'll have a big understanding, is that when one of our operators was assaulted, they was spat on, not one time, 3 times, right? We got the news, obviously. You know how things go. You get the news, you hear about it. There was an arrest involved, so automatically the transit authority took it that the member did something wrong. The transit authority actually got the video first because NYPD, because of the arrest, NYPD got a camera off the building, right? And in doing so, they looked at this video and they said, "Oh, our member could have avoided what happened," and then they basically try and fire him, right? So, in doing that, we thought that was unjust. We tried to communicate with labor relations. You know, they always point the finger. Labor relations says, "Well, it's not us. It was coming from upstairs." Then upstairs says, "Well, you know, it was labor relations." And then when you go out to try to make the deal, because, you know, as a union, you don't want your member to get harmed, so you try to do things that will ensure that your member doesn't get harmed. So you go upstairs and you talk to the general manager, and in my case, I'm the equivalent in the division to the general manager of the borough. So I went up to the general manager to have these discussions, and they was keeping their arguments on the fact that this whole thing could have been avoided. So what happened next? Well, what happened next is this free Pena was born because, first of all, they PDS'd them, which means they pre-disciplinary suspended our member. So once they pre-disciplinary suspended our member, we felt that they really crossed the line. They, you know, so what we do, we saw the video. The video, you know, just by my mouth to your ears, only shows that the bus operator is pulling up to a terminal. The terminal was on a turn, so he was turning into the terminal. So in doing so, there was a taxi right there in the bus stop. So the bus operator waited 1 light, 2 light, no movement on the taxi. So what happened next is that the operator pulled into the bus stop and he blocked everybody. He blocked the cab inside the bus stop. So then once he blocked the cab in the bus stop, he secured his bus, got out the bus, and then what happened next, the cab driver comes out the store, cab driver runs up to the front of the bus, and then whatever the conversation was the conversation. But you can't, it's not like you can take that bus and run it around the block, right? And according to the video looked like the cab could just backed out and then went about his business. But no, he went up to the bus operator and spat on him 3 times. The bus operator retreated in one of these moves, retreated 3 times, tried to avoid the problem, right? 3rd time he did this. They're saying that there was some contact. I didn't see the contact. Either way, there was an arrest. The arrest was resolved already, and we doing this free Pena because we do not feel that it was right that this operator is even facing the kind of backlash that he's been facing through the transit authority. We feel that our company, the transit authority, should have his back, you know, just like NYPD. And we talk about the NYPD, at least the NYPD brass have their members back in certain instances. This didn't happen here. So this is why we're going up with the flyers, free Pena. We're doing shop gates. We haven't done shop gates. I'm sorry, I take that back. We haven't done shop gates, but we definitely have been doing like little messaging. We've been doing the flyers. We've been doing the social media. We've been doing Twitter. We did a lot of Twitter hits. Local 100 has gotten on board with us because if you see the most latest flyers that we do have, it has the TW local on it. So we definitely thank Tony Utano for that one, because we could have been on our own with it, but they chose to put their stamp on it, which I'm very pleased about. And we're gonna end up going into the into arbitration with this. Pena is back to work because I did win the PDS argument, but now moving forward, this free Pena argument and fight will continue all the way up until arbitration, which I think I'm going to win anyway. It's back to work, but I have to go into arbitration and basically win, get us a win, and I thank all y'all members who've been doing what y'all can, doing the radio checks, doing the flags, doing 19, not 19As, but doing y'all little inspections, and I appreciate that. And then we'll be moving forward from there. You know what I'm saying?
What's up, baby?
How you doing?
All right, you?
All right, can't complain.
All right.
So we'll be moving forward from there. How you feeling?
Good, how you doing?
All right. We'll be moving forward from there. Listen, guys, I wanted to just get this out to you. Have a wonderful evening. See you guys tomorrow. I'll be around the system, and then we can continue this conversation. But remember, this is all about our member, and this could happen to any single one of us, and we want to make sure that this type of nonsense never, ever happens again. So y'all be safe. I got all y'all back, no matter where and who you are. Be safe.